Welcome to Matrix Talk. It is, what is today? The 21st
August
of
21st.
August, 2023. And we're going to talk, this, we directed the title at certification students, which includes people who are already certified.
They're already our trainers that are already out there.
And I'll make that announcement really quick. First of all, though, go to the page there, click on the green button, get yourself a course. You know,
Yep.
it's a perfect.
Here's the green button by Molly Bag on
Oh
Apple
my
Music.
goodness, that's funny.
Siri.
Something I
Siri's
said.
talking
I
to you.
set off Siri. Oh no!
Siri's weighing in too. Siri wants to get a course too, folks.
I heard her show up on a Talking Head show the other day. So anyway, buy a course. It's the perfect thing to do on August the 21st or any day that you log in and find us. We got them from $19.95 up to the certification, which is more. And if you need some kind of, I think I put it on there, didn't I?
Yes, the we and me.
Agency discounts are available, right?
Agency discounts are available, yes.
Talking to somebody tomorrow about that. And chat in the upper right. I'm sorry, first follow us in the upper right. And of course, chat in like I've chatted in and Phil has chatted in. And Paul Ruck from Manchester has chatted in. So
helping us be international today.
Yeah, isn't that cool? And we have looks like Mary's on and Jason.
Cool.
Oh, maybe Emily, maybe not.
Good.
Whatever. So we'll turn off this stuff. We'll stop sharing that. Make Phil big. And so what are we up to? Well, what we're up to is this. From reading a lot of stuff out there, looking at the nature of the world right now. And of course, Phil and I live in the USA, so particularly in the USA, it seems that for several decades now, we humans have been focusing on the me. It's all about me.
24/7.
Yeah. And that focus on the me has created some problems for us. And if you think about it, it's ultimately, of course, going to result in a huge problem because humans don't live by themselves. We don't, I mean, literally live, L-I-V. We die without the support of other people.
That's not good for existence.
Right. So we're social animals and we need others. And so this focus on the me has resulted in some troubles for the we. And so just for our part, we thought, well, we do two loops. We do a me loop and a we loop. And of course, this came off of a psychotherapy called acceptance and commitment therapy. And all psychotherapies, like you come in for individual psychotherapy, they all focus on the me, which may have been the start of the problem way back with Freud and others as we did that. Now, I'm not blaming anybody nor myself. It's just that since we long ago, just a little history for you, the ACT matrix came up in 2009. The pro-social matrix, that is the we matrix, arrived in 2011. I created both of them. So we went, hey, let's switch it and do the we first. And if you're wondering how you would do that, well, you just say, hey, I have a point of view that I work from. Is it okay if I show you that point of view that I work from? And most people will say, well, sure, yeah. And we say, well, it looks like this. And Phil will hold up, there it is. And you can either say the senses, mind, contentment, relief, or not. The biggie is, and here's where it starts, is that you probably are, well, by definition, you're part of one or more people. And with those people, you have a shared purpose. And so we would like to start with your shared purpose with other people. So maybe you're married, so there's a shared purpose there. Maybe you're just in a relationship. Still, there's a shared purpose there. Maybe you're in a classroom. I bet you there are
Definitely
shared purposes within classrooms. Maybe you're part of a whole country,
Mm.
like the USA or Great Britain or whatever. And within that country, the people within that country have a shared purpose. I mean, you're in a city, you're in a county, you're in a state. You get the idea. You just think of the shared purposes. So you list them off. So I'll start with mine. I have a dear wife. Our shared purpose is to take care of our I'm trying to think of all who we take care of. Our children. There we go. I'll just say our children.
Yes. And I would even, for myself, I would just shorten it up for my wife, my family, for family. That's basically the shared purpose is the family.
Take care of the family. And I will cut to the chase and go all the way to the United States, the country that I live in, and Phil lives in too. We're born into a country with a constitution, and our job is to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Which, by the way, folks, would probably require that you read it in the first darn place. So, which Phil and I actually went to school back in the day that you read the Constitution.
Oh yeah.
We're old fogies.
Then I was a social studies teacher for a short while, and I read it again.
Yeah, I mean, we took civics and
Yeah.
and social. What do you call it? Social
Social studies.
social studies. That was
Yeah.
it. Social studies.
Civic,
Yeah,
right. U.S. government.
yeah, I was trying to think of U.S.
Yep,
government.
yep.
Right. So all of those courses, and you learn about the Constitution and how you can pitch in and help out with the Constitution. So we start off by focusing how you work with others. You have a shared purpose with others, okay? And then you just go to, well, when you're working with other people, yucky stuff shows up. Jealousy and anxiety and imposter syndrome and
Envy.
envy, that kind of stuff show up. We go to the upper left. And we'll go to the number one way I think that most people, how they often deal with shared purpose stuff is they don't show up.
Stay home.
They don't do the shared purpose thing, and because of all the yucky stuff that shows up along with it. And there is a lot of yucky stuff that shows up in trying to do shared purposes with other people. So you recognize that, and you recognize how you check out other stuff. And finally, for contentment, well, you go back up to the upper right and say, well, I get contentment by doing stuff to achieve shared purposes with other people. And we've all been part of that. When you and your spouse or loved one,
Significant others.
achieve something together, do something together, yay, that's content. Maybe your whole city gets an award or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey.
You do stuff, and so what do you do for your shared purpose? Well, I mean, then it goes back to, well, how am I going to do a shared purpose with my wife? I think it's probably a good idea to talk to her. Talk to her about our shared purpose.
Yep.
And if that sounds silly, folks, it's not. Very powerful.
It is the basic building block of a shared purpose.
Now, at this point, you can go ahead and you can add in. And so now what you can do in your daily life is notice all that stuff. Notice your shared purpose with other people. Notice your social yucky stuff showing up. Basically, you want to avoid people because they're a pain in the ass. That kind of stuff.
Right.
You can notice yourself engaged, either doing something for relief, engaging in relief behavior, right? And in the upper right, you can note when you're doing stuff for the shared purpose. Move the wagon along in the right direction.
Yep.
All that kind of stuff. So that's all a bunch of noticing. Okay? And so now we focus on the you within the we. So the me within the we. And so when we go to focus on the me, the number one thing to focus in on is who's important to you. So, gee, out of all those social folks that we just ran through, who's the most important to you? I've already said it. My wife. My wife's the most important.
Wife, children, son, Paul says.
Oh, I got one. I can sound like a politician. My fellow American.
Oh, fellow American. Ooh.
How many times have you heard that? But you get the idea.
My fellow Americans.
That's up on the Constitution level, right?
Yep.
And everything in between. You go.
Yeah. Students, coworkers.
You're on a softball team or something. Whatever.
Teammates.
You have teammates that are important to you, right? And now you go over there and you look at the yucky stuff that can show up inside of you. Oh, guess what? Yucky stuff is yucky stuff. So you have anxiety and depression, fear of failure, imposter syndrome,
Guilt.
guilt. It's a popular one. We go to the upper left, behaviors that you do to get relief from the yucky stuff. So you do a lot of stuff. You run to get relief from fear. Get out of there, right? A lot of people drink, use drugs,
Shout.
shout. Streaming services. Many streaming services available to, either watch on your TV or on your computer, or on your laptop, whatever.
Phone. Doesn't matter.
With streaming, you can just watch the stuff anywhere. So you can check out that way. And finally, what do you do for who's important to you? The upper right. So once again, for my wife, I go talk to her, get her a cup of coffee.
Play with the kids.
Phone
Somebody.
home, right? DT wanted to phone home. All kinds of good stuff. And once again, you can notice all that stuff. So you can notice who's important to you. You can notice your yucky stuff showing up. You can notice, your relief moves. And you can notice contentment moves, right? And in the end, you can notice that really contentment shows up when you're working with other people. That's the biggie.
Yes.
It's not often you're content by your lonesome. Oh, just something to note.
Content is sweeter when shared with others.
Ooh, I like it. Another bumper sticker. And so, folks, they say, once again, we're just adding in our little bitty tiny bit to the world, and to say, for at least a few decades, we need to switch and focus on the we first and the me second. Because, I mean, me, Phil, and a whole lot of other folks that look at this have sort of done a little bit of, chin scratching, going, oh, yeah, we've been focusing on the me too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. We and there's a word for it. It's sort of rampant narcissism. There's quite a bit of that going around. You may have heard. And I know a complaint that I hear about some younger generation. I get them all mixed up because I'm old, so I can do that. However, a lot of people say it's all about them. It's all about me. They're self-centered, and it's like, well, how did they get that to be that way? Well, we taught them.
It's called modeling, folks.
Right. We showed them how to do that, taught them how to do that. And you say, what do you mean? What, school? Let's go to school. Well, Phil and I noted when we went to school, the focusing on, the civics lessons and etiquette lessons and how to be polite to one another.
Being citizens.
Right. Being good citizens.
Good citizens, yeah.
Good citizens and all that was a big focus. It was a big focus. Phil was in education until he retired just in recent years. And he noted that had, so what do we do now?
Lopped off.
What's that?
It got lopped off.
Got lopped off in the interest of the kids need to learn science. The
kids
need to learn math.
We got to get these benchmarks in, and
got to get the benchmarks.
Our test scores.
They've got to have high SAT scores.
Right.
They've got to be, which is all about the individual, and very much you need to become prepared to go out there and make it in the world and all that. And so, I mean, it's almost as if we need to go back in school and reconstitute the finishing schools.
Yes.
And if you don't know what that is, there's been a couple of movies made about them. The young ladies used to go to finishing school, but even young men went to etiquette school.
Oh yeah.
And we just don't do that now. And why? Because they need math, they need science, they need marketable skills. And that's the individual needs marketable skills, but nothing about how to be a good citizen, or precious little about it anyway. And nowadays, I would imagine you poll most children in high school and say, well, in one of your courses has the Constitution of the United States and the amendments been assigned, been part of your...
Yeah, that you've read.
No.
Crickets on that. I can tell you, crickets on that.
Going to be crickets. And it's not that they were assigned and they didn't do the homework.
No.
That's understandable. But it wasn't even assigned.
Oh, well, how about just, this era of correct and incorrect books and stuff like that? I'll just go that way. How about, has anyone ever put their hands on a copy of the Constitution while they're in school?
There you go. They used to pass them out, right?
We used to get them.
Yeah.
We all had a copy.
Yeah, we all had a copy. Yeah. I bet you that's... And so, well, why is that? Well, reading the Constitution is part of being a good citizen. Right. Now you know what the United States is up to. Because whether you like the forefathers or not, and what they wrote or not, that's what's written down.
Yeah.
That's the book. That's what you got. You can amend the Constitution if you don't like it.
That has happened.
It has happened in the past, but then you learn what it requires to amend it, which is a lot. You've got to, because they made it so that you just can't willy-nilly change it.
Yeah. Well, they've made that a shared purpose too.
Right. So anyway, we go to that. But back to, well, how do you operate within a marriage?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All self-taught. DIY, right? Do it yourself.
No manual there, folks. Nope.
No manual at all, and that. So, but where did we used to learn it? From our relatives. We were exposed. We can get into it in the 60s. They stopped building sidewalks.
Yes.
It's like, well, what's that got to do with the we versus the me matrix? Well,
Yeah,
it has everything to do with it, right? Because when you did away with sidewalks, then they didn't build front porches. And so you had all these houses with no front porches and no sidewalk out front of them. So nobody sees each other.
Yeah. Lots of decks in the back, though.
Yeah. And so, which is the individual, which is
right.
The me stuff. So the stuff of sitting on your porch and getting visited by people walking by, which was what we would do, right?
Yes. Oh, very much so. Yeah.
We would visit with one another. So, but then along comes no porch, no sidewalk, and a TV inside. Everybody goes inside and watches the TV, which seems like you're being connected to the world, but you're not.
That's a cheat.
It hasn't.
It's a sleight of hand.
Okay. Let me get on sidewalks some more. I used to travel a lot. Trade Act, by the way, and noted, and I have since seen on YouTube other videos noting this. Like you'll be in a motel and you'll see a restaurant, and it's like across a highway or a
yes
4-lane over there.
Yes.
Look, I would like to go over there to eat. But
how am I going to get there?
I will just walk over there. So I walk out and look up and down and go, well, if I want to die, I'll get over there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't get there. It's just a couple, it's 100 feet away or something that you can't get there. Why? Because we took away, we're all supposed to be enclosed in cars now. Essentially, no sidewalks, no crosswalks, no any way of getting out.
No communal space.
And any of us who drive, you go in your own head, right?
Yeah. Oh, you're in your little bubble.
And you get mad at other people for cutting.
Oh, yeah.
How dare you be on the road? I paid for this road.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
How dare you be on my road?
And so I'm just going down the laundry list of how we got in this position, folks.
Yeah.
So that now we have a country, and I don't know about the rest of the world, but now a couple of people we've talked to said it's similar.
Oh, they have been weighing in, resonating with what we're saying. Yes, very much.
Like a mod from Egypt.
Yeah, from Egypt. Yep.
Recently that
Australia. I know people in Australia, same thing.
Yeah. So it's really gotten away. So essentially, our thing is, well, let's, in our little corner of the universe, which we admit is a very tiny little corner. Nevertheless, it's a tiny little corner, and we can say, let's focus on the we first. How do you fit in with other people? What are you doing in terms of your shared purpose with other people? And by the way, that word contentment, it's funny how that came into, my wife was reading how the word discontent came into the vocabulary, and it has come in with the me movement. So the secret to being discontent is to be disconnected from other people. Content is when you're connected. It gets back to you don't want to be shunned. To be shunned from the tribe is death. Well, and then even me, I go like, wow, that is so weird. We focus on the me, and it's all about the me, but I can't survive by myself. In reality, it's not about you. It's about the we.
Oh yeah.
Because without the we, you don't survive. You may
Well,
think
let's go all the way back. There is no me without a we. Where does it come from?
you came from a we, right?
We.
And it's just wild. You watch a show like Alone on the History Channel, and they make it for 30, 60, 90, 120 days, whatever it is, alone. But anybody who's watched that show till they crown the champion, they're not going to make it. Not long term.
No.
They're going to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's the myth of Jeremiah Johnson living as a mountain man living out in the.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
That was a great movie, but
Right.
I don't think so.
No.
Humans just we're social. We cooperate with each other to. And Alone is a good one for pointing that out, because when they drop you off, and now you got to get the water, you got to get the food, you got to do the shelter. It's all on you. So it's not that Phil goes get the water, Kevin goes for the shelter, Sally goes for the food. What
No division of labor.
There's no division of labor, and
You're
you get really tired and really wore out and start losing weight in a real hurry.
Yeah.
Like, because you're not eating and you're having to exert a bunch of calories. Stay alive, right? So our thing is switch it. So, and I mean, come on, this is a slow process, but we will dig around and we will find the certification materials and we'll flip them. We'll make them so that folks do the we matrix first. So if you're coming along and you're going to be certified with us, we'll be looking for you to do the we matrix first. And if you already are certified and you want to continue doing the me matrix first, nobody's going to come after you. So we're not going to do that.
Yeah. There's no certification police going to come knocking at your door.
There's no police, no. But we think just the zeitgeist. It's called the spirit of the times. German word for spirit of the time. The zeitgeist is meant on the me. Let's switch the zeitgeist to the we. Good idea.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot.
Jasmine says, "Just got here. What did I miss?"
Everything.
Yeah.
We're just flipping it to doing the we matrix first. That is the shared purpose matrix first, and then doing the who's important second, because it appears that for the last several decades, the United States and others have been focusing on putting the me first, and that's gotten us into, to put it succinctly, narcissistic trouble.
Right.
A little bit too much focus on the me. And given that the me would die without other people, that's sort of silly. So let's focus on the we first. Good observation. Yeah. Me and Phil and I both were reading articles going, oh my.
Yeah, and we talked about this last week too. It's even like it's collective. So if we're not all pulling together, then we're going to drift back to just doing our own thing.
And that really doesn't work.
Which is the beginning of hedonism.
Yeah, and Rome burned.
I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna go get. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna go get mine.
The problem with that is that eventually that runs out and everybody dies.
Exactly.
So it doesn't work.
Right.
It just Divide and conquer. That's the
Didn't
name of
mind,
it.
or why am I feeling so crappy still?
So anyway, we're just in our little corner of the universe. We're changing it around. I did want to point out that for whatever reason, back in the early 1900s, Freud and Jung and those came along, and all the psychotherapy, the personal growth movement came along, and that, in part, by definition, focused on the me.
Yeah.
You are so important. Aren't you going to take my feelings into account?
Really?
And while that's okay, that can get a little out of hand. And actually, it can get a lot out of hand. So anyways, and by the way, you'll hear this from recent graduates and management people talking about recent graduates. I got a full sentence out. And what they say is they don't know how to work with others well.
Yes.
Because we didn't teach them.
Didn't
But
get
once
the skills.
again, Bill and I would have them all back in etiquette classes and learning how to dance,
Yeah.
Dance
Cook together.
learn civics, learn how to greet each other, how to be civil with one another, how to be nice. It's just the pursuit of money. We can't leave the pursuit of money out of this.
Oh, we've got to throw capitalism in here. Yes.
Capitalism run amok, and capitalism ran amok and make it like, you got to make money, you got to make money, you got to make money. Well, when I make money at the cost of everybody else, there's trouble, and we got a lot of troubles. That's why we're not trying to bury our head in the sand. We got a lot of troubles, and that we're probably not going to fix in the next couple of weeks. But if we start focusing on the we and how we fit in with others, and whatever country you're in, go to your country and read the equivalent of the Constitution.
Yeah. What
Whatever
is the
they call
basis?
it. That's your shared document. You were born into it. And you went, hey, I didn't get to choose. That's right.
That's right.
And by the way, you just ran yourself into that wonderful free choice argument.
Yeah.
Because people say, I have free choice. I get to choose
I
everything.
get to decide what I do.
Yeah. Some smart aleck says, oh, did you choose who your parents were? Like, well, no. Whoops.
Mhm.
There went that choice thing out.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff you don't get to choose, folks, which includes what country you're born into. Now, you can move countries. You can do that.
Yeah. You can say, I don't like it here. I'm going someplace else. Fine.
But I like some other countries' rules better. Okay.
Yeah.
Immigrate to the other country. People do it. I mean, of course, they get war-torn, their life's in threat, and they try to immigrate to the United States. We used to have this lady up in New York Harbor saying, give me your poor, your downtrodden.
Tired huddled masses yearning to break free.
We don't do that as well as we did for a while.
No. There's a lot of caveats now.
A lot of caveats, yeah. Give us all that, but only if you meet these criteria.
Yeah, well, check the fine print here.
Anyways, let's focus on the we. That's it. You can't do away with the me. It's still there. And I'm sure we will have this. I mean, there was a Star Trek episode where Spock was about to die, and they had this thing about the good of the one versus the good of the many.
Oh, that was the second or third Star Trek movie. The needs of the The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
So this is not a new thing, but let's all see if we can do it. Let's see if we can move the ship over a little bit to focusing on the we.
Yep.
Why not?
Yep.
And if you come for when you do certification, we'll make sure that you do the we-loop first. But after that, here comes the me loop.
Here comes. Same thing. Just
flip them.
start with shared purpose.
And if somebody asks, well, why do you start with we? Because people are always part of a group. They have to have a group to survive. It's an appropriate use of the term have to.
Yeah.
We have to have
Yeah.
a group.
And that is a have to.
And since we have to be part of a group to survive, that means we need to pay attention to the we. That's it. Fun stuff, huh? We'll keep plugging away at it.
Yeah.
It'll just take you a little bit of practice, which will happen.
And if you're already practicing, it's really just a matter of put shared purpose first. That's all.
Well, that's all.
It ends up being the same thing in the end.
Yeah. It's just, but it is strange. You go, wow, focus on the we first.
Yeah.
How weird. No, it's not weird.
Oh.
But your brain wants to think it's weird.
Yeah. Yep.
We didn't always used to be this way, folks. There was a time in the past when we were all, that is, the whole population was more focused on the we, the good of the we. Through many, many, many things that happened, we got focused on the me.
Yeah.
The me generation. I'm the most important. And so a lot of troubles are coming from. We don't have a sense of community. We don't have a sense of citizenship. Let's see if we can regain it. If we don't, we're really messed up.
Yes. Well, we've had the experience of it. Most of us have had the experience of it.
Yes, we have. We'll go for more of it.
And yeah, now it's a matter of asking the question.
All right. You have a regular old phone?
That's a regular old landline. Yep. That
Oh,
rings
yeah.
with nothing
you
but people wanting to try to part me from my money.
Okay. Don't you have to live in a museum to have one of those things?
Well, it probably is a museum piece. I think I even have a rotary phone somewhere downstairs in the basement that I kept.
I don't have any of those anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Anyways, folks, let's do it. All you certification folks out there, people who are certified, people who are wanting to be certified and doing these two loops, just start doing the we loop first.
Yeah.
That easy.
And even those of you that aren't looking for certification, do the we loop first.
Consider it.
Yeah. Try it out.
Consider the importance of focusing on we first, me second. Weird, huh? Maybe not so weird.
Different.
Oh, I don't think we're done. I don't know what we'll do the rest of this week, but we tend to figure out stuff to do.
Something will show up.
Something will show up. Tomorrow we're talking to somebody about certification.
Yeah.
If anybody else wants to contact us,
Yep. Please do.
send us an email. On the homepage, there's a place you can click on our email. Get a hold of us. and we'll do a certification. So, by the way, folks, certification is just the ability to do the 2 loops.
Yeah.
That's
Just
it.
like we did it today.
No, we don't. You don't have to know any theory or anything. We just want you to be able to do the 2 loops. And now start with the we and then do the me.
And then me.
Some people can use certification for their jobs, workplace.
Their agency, whatever.
Stuff. It's not required in any way, shape, or form to use the matrix. No way. You go right ahead and use the matrix for free. That is fine. I gave it away to the world. In 2009, way back then, gave away the Pro Social Matrix too. So that's not the point of it. The point of certification is it's handy for some people to have certification. So we offer it for those people who need it. Our first certification student was an attorney.
Yep. 001.
Certification 001.
Yeah.
And you can see why an attorney might want to be certified, because they don't have any way of showing any kind of expertise in working with other people like this. He uses it in coaching
Yes.
and dispute
And
resolution
dispute, conflict resolution, right? Mediation, things like that.
and stuff. So give us a call. In the meantime, we'll sign off. Go do the rest of Monday.
Yes.
Must
You
be
take
fun.
care too, Paul. Good seeing you.
You guys, yeah, good to see you, Paul. My
Has
goodness.
been. You're all
Yeah.
caught up now.
Everybody who showed up today, which is quite a few of you. Linda Lou showed up. Oh, Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Linda knows how to do the 2 loops. So. It's hard. It's not hard, folks.
No.
Just put the we first and you're all done. Y'all take it easy. I can't seem to get my trackpad to go. There it goes. There.
Yeah.